What's up, everyone? My name is Sam. Thanks so much for joining today's practice. Today's practice is going to be focused on recovery for sore legs and glutes, or yoga for recovery from leg day. We're going to take it nice and slow today. There will be opportunities to incorporate blocks, especially if you're really sore. And we're going to start on our backs in Shavasana when you're ready. Coming to the mat in Shavasana, grab your blocks if you want those, especially if your legs are very tired or sore today. You'll have an opportunity to incorporate those. As you come to the mat, start to settle in and observe the bodies. Physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual bodies. You start to notice where you are and what you feel. We're going to be working through the legs and glutes today, focusing on recovery for the lower body. This can be really good if you are sore from leg day or just from walking or running, what have you, any other activity. Also just good for general flexibility and mobility in the lower body. Try to relax a little bit deeper into your mat as you connect with the breath, just noticing. And if you want to bring a mantra to today's practice, it might be something like rest is equal to recovery, is equal to growth. Connect a little deeper with the breath. Just tuning into the sound of it, noticing the quality of the breath and its depth. Remind your body it's okay to relax. We're going to start to incorporate movement just by opening the eyes. I'm going to start by bending into my left knee, bringing the sole of my left foot to the mat. You can bring your hands to rest anywhere on the body that you want, maybe the hip flexors, if you're sore there, or just on your ribs, or just let the hands fall apart. I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee and just gently pull my right knee open. We're not going to go through the whole sequence of variations for these poses, just take what you need here. If you're very sore, this might be where you stay. You can gently bring the fingertips to the inside edge of the right thigh and press that right hip open. Just not forcing it, not applying too much pressure. Nice and gentle, meeting the body where it is. You might also extend through that left knee and interlace the fingers behind the left thigh, sending that left heel up toward the ceiling, but only if it feels right in the body today. Once again, you can gently press your right elbow into your inner right thigh. Or maybe bend into that left knee and interlace the fingers in front of that left shin. Again, meeting the body wherever it needs you to be today. You can find stillness here or rock gently from left to right. Just listening to the body, noticing what you feel and where. Breathing deep into those sensations and maybe letting go of something on your exhale. Take as much time as you want on this side, and when you feel ready, release that left foot to the mat, unravel the ankle, maybe let the knees fall to the right and to the left. This might feel really good if you have soreness through the hip flexors or the glutes. And then when you're ready, keep the sole of the right foot planted and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Just pulling that left knee open. Maybe resting the hands on the body, on the hip flexors. Or maybe bringing the left fingertips to the inside edge of the left thigh, pressing in gently. Then feel free to stay in whatever variation of this works for you. Remember that one side might be very different from the other, and that's totally normal and okay. I'm going to notice what you feel and where without getting overwhelmed. Take as much time as you want in any variation of these poses that you like. And when you feel good about it, gently release that right foot back to the mat. Unravel the left ankle from the right knee. Once again, you can let the knees fall to the left and to the right if that feels good. And then when you bring them back through center, plant both of the soles of the feet. You want to set up for the next series of poses or the next movement by pressing the low back down and onto your back. So you're engaging the lower abdominals to flatten the back on the mat. We're going to try to maintain that. We're going to kick up both feet off the mat. Knees are above the hips, keeping that flat back on the mat. Put your mind's eye there, make sure you're engaged there and you can see and feel that. You can bring your fingertips to rest on the front of the knees. And then from here we're going to alternate extending through one knee and then the other. So I'm going to extend through my left knee, keeping my back pressed down to the mat, lowering my heel slowly all the way down to the mat. Bring it back up. Same thing on that second side, extending through that right knee, pressing my low back down to the mat and slowly lowering my right heel to the mat. We'll just continue alternating with the breath, move at your own pace, and just be really intentional about keeping your low back connected to the mat. Noticing what you hear, what you feel, and where, without judgment, without getting overwhelmed. And take your time in this movement, go ahead and even it out. Take one more iteration on each side, whatever you like. From here I'm going to bring my hands to the outside edges of my feet. Send the heels up toward the ceiling, open up the backs of the knees for happy baby pose. You can just find stillness here or make it dynamic, rocking gently from left to right. This is overwhelming for you. You can grab the ankles or the backs of the thighs behind the knees. Notice what you feel and where. When you feel good about that, we're going to roll up to sitting. So take your time getting there. I'm going to bring my feet together, kick my heels up, and then forward, coming all the way up to a comfortable cross-legged seat. And from here, we're going to move into cobbler's pose. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together to touch. You need to adjust the distance of your heels away from your hips. Feel free to do that. If you're very sore here, you can put your blocks under your knees. And if you feel really wobbly or unstable or disconnected in this seated position, you can put a block or a pillow under your hips. Make sure you can feel the connection of the sits bones to the earth or to the block or pillow. Checking in with your spinal alignment, just letting the knees fall apart. Since your feet are accessible, I always recommend connecting the hands with the feet, noticing the heat from your hands radiating through your feet, maybe pressing your thumbs in through the bottom of the feet, just giving yourself a little massage, whatever feels good. Chances are, if your legs are sore, if your glutes are sore, your feet may also be. Stay connected with the breath. Make sure you're not tensing or holding anywhere, particularly in the hips or in the glutes. Remind your body it's okay to relax. If you get distracted, notice what's distracting you. And try to let that go. Let's take a few more cycles of breath just to turn inward in this pose. Breathing all the way down through the spine, into the sits bones, into the earth. Maybe letting something go on your exhale. When you feel satisfied, you can gently open the eyes if they're closed. I'm going to bring my hands to the outsides of my knees and just guide them back together, coming onto the soles of the feet. Might need to move the feet a little further away from the body, but we're just going to fold forward here. Feet can be about hip width apart or as close together as you want. Folding forward, we're going to root down through the sits bones, extend all the way up through the spine, getting long shoulders back, and then folding forward, bringing the arms behind the thighs, just grasping opposite wrists or elbows, whatever is reachable. Relaxing through the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Noticing if there's any tightness here and breathing deeply into that. You may feel something in the low back. You may even feel something in the hamstrings. But we're going to intensify that pressure on the hamstrings in the next pose. So whatever you notice, breathe deep into those sensations. Try to find stillness in the mind as you find stillness in the body. Notice what's distracting you, if anything. Take another cycle of breath in this pose. Big inhale. And complete exhale. Maybe letting something go. Longer exhale. You're going to root down through the sits bones. I invite you to do the same. Curling up through the spine. Slowly, gently, mindfully, rolling the shoulders back. From here, I'm just going to extend fully through the knees, toes pointed up toward the ceiling. Staying planted through the sits bones, making sure you feel that connection there. And we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So getting long through the spine once again, nice and open through the chest. This time sending the fingertips all the way up toward the ceiling, palms facing one another. Reaching a little bit higher. And then hinging at the hips. Imagine sending the hands all the way beyond the feet. Wherever they land is totally fine. Maybe coming to the outside edges of the ankles, maybe holding the bottom of the feet with the fingertips. Maybe just opening the palms toward the ceiling on either side of the shins. Just breathing and stretching a little more deeply here through the muscles that you may have felt in the last pose. Not forcing any shape, taking whatever version of this your body needs. Once again, if your feet are accessible to you, maybe pressing through any part of the foot that might be sore, but squeezing through the edges of the feet, connecting with the toes, etc., etc. Same with the ankles. Take your time in this pose. Stay connected to the breath. When you're ready to transition out of it, you might start by opening your eyes if they're closed. We're going to root down through the sits bone one more time, and then extend up through the spine, beginning with the lumbar. Slowly, gently, mindfully, like you're moving through water. Just dragging your fingertips along the legs. Coming all the way up through the thoracic. Rolling the shoulders back, tucking the chin. And then we're going to bend into the right knee and just bring the sole of the right foot toward the hips. I'm going to use my hands to bring that right foot to the outside edge of the left knee. From here, I'm going to swing my left hand around behind me, planting my left fingertips somewhere behind my tailbone, behind the low back. I'll bring my right hand all the way up toward the ceiling and then bend into my right elbow to bring it to the inside edge of the right knee. So from here, you've just created this hinge. We're going to really gently press that right elbow into the right knee. Turn to look over the left shoulder. Hold the left shoulder back. Notice what you feel and where. Breathe into that. Try not to get distracted. Try not to get overwhelmed. When you feel good about it, we'll gently unravel, swinging that left hand back around toward the front, moving your right foot back over to the right side of your mat, using your hands if you need to. Slowly extend through that right knee and bend into the left. Same thing on that second side. So I'm going to use my hands to bring my left foot to the outside edge of my right knee. From here, I'll swim my right hand around and behind me, planting my fingertips, pulling that right shoulder back. I'm going to send my left palm all the way up toward the ceiling before bending into the left elbow, bringing it to the inside edge of the left knee. Just creating that little bit of leverage. Twist further through the spine, look over the right shoulder. To notice. To breathe deep into the sensations of the physical body without judgment, without getting overwhelmed. And then slowly, gently, mindfully, bringing it all the way back through center. From here, we're going to roll forward onto all fours. Setting up in tabletop pose for a little cat-cow. Spinal flexion and extension. You know what to do, move at your own pace. If not, I invite you to plant the palms under the shoulders, knees under the sits bones, under the hip bones. And then syncing up with the breath. On your inhale, dropping the low ribs down toward the mat, lifting the gaze, tail toward the ceiling. On your exhale, pressing into the palms and the tops of the feet, arching through the upper back, pressing away from your mat. Move at your own pace. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, low ribs, meet the spine. And then maybe incorporating any other organic movement you want to in that. So I just bend into my elbows to draw circles with the ribs. Stretching through the side body, noticing those sensations, being present in that, receiving that information from the body. When you feel good about that, we'll come back through center for tabletop. We're just going to come into a child's pose or a traditional child's pose here. So if your soreness is more through the glutes and the hips, you might challenge yourself with an extended child's pose, just bringing the big toes into touch, sending the knees wide, and sending the hips back toward the heels. If your soreness is more in the quads, the front of the thigh here, above the knee, you might bring the knees into touch, send the hips back toward the heels. Either way, we're bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat. If you're in extended child's pose, your hands are reaching forward toward the top edge of the mat. If you're in traditional child's pose, your palms are open up next to the feet. Forearms next to the shins. You might also, if you're in traditional child's pose, have access to the feet here, or the ankles, or whatever part of the foot, side of the legs are sore. Wherever you are, breathe deep into the sensations you feel. I'll be quiet. Take this time just to turn inward for a few cycles of breath. Notice what you feel and where. You get distracted, just notice. And come back to the sound of the breath. Transition out of this pose, we'll start by opening the eyes. Whatever version of child's pose you're in, we'll come back up slowly, gently, and mindfully to a seated position. From here, we're going to come into a standing forward fold. So I'm going to start by rolling forward onto my palms and curling the toes under. I'm going to walk my palms toward my feet as I extend fully through my knees. If you're tight in the hamstrings, keep a generous bend in the knees here. You don't have to be at full extension. If you want to challenge the flexibility of the hamstrings, you might work toward full extension without forcing it or bouncing. At any rate, we're going to relax through the head, the neck, and the shoulders, maybe clasping opposite elbow with opposite hands. Maybe just letting the hands fall gently on the mat. You can also lift the toes and slide a palm under each foot. Once again, enforcing that connection. Move hands to feet. You can also just sway gently left to right, maybe walking the hands over to the left side and to the right. Again, noticing what you feel and where, receiving that feedback from the body, honoring the body, wherever it is. And trying to find stillness in the mind. Take as much time as you'd like in this pose, as long as it's beneficial to you. Continue to enjoy it. I'm going to transition into the next pose, which is a yogi squat. So just a squat, heeling, toeing the feet away from each other until the toes spill off the mat. Toes are pointed slightly away from each other. I'll bend into the knees and send my hips all the way back down to the mat or toward the mat. Bringing elbows to the inside edges of the knees, palms together at the heart space. So you can find stillness here and sink into it, connect with the breath, connect with the sensations of the body. You can also incorporate dynamic movement in this pose by just reversing and repeating that movement that you just did. So bringing the palms to the mat, extending fully through the knees. We're close to it. Just noticing what you feel and where. It's a good way to lubricate the knees and the hips. Just to check in there. You can also shift from left to right in this pose. Just notice what you're engaging and where. But for recovery purposes, you would probably just find stillness here. Connect deeply with the breath. Maybe close your eyes. Make sure you're not tensing or holding anywhere, particularly in the lower body, around the hips, the glutes, the shins, the ankles, the feet. Reminding your body it's okay to relax. Try not to get overwhelmed by any sensation that you feel. Just allowing the hips to sink down deeper toward the mat. Take as much time as you'd like in this pose. From here, we're going to move into Gomukhasana or shoestring pose or cow face pose. So if you know that is not accessible to you, you might stay here or move on to the back. move into Gomukhasana. I'm going to bring my palms back to the mat once again. And also drop my knees to the mat, coming back into that tabletop position. And I'm going to slowly talk you through getting into Gomukhasana. There's a couple ways to do it. This is, I think, the most accessible way. I'm going to start by bringing my right knee to the midline of the mat and extending through my left knee. So all the way, my left leg is fully extended. I'm on my left toes. From here, I'm going to slide my right foot over to the left side of the mat. I'm going to bend into my left knee and just pull it in behind my right knee. Okay, get comfortable there, and then slide that foot over to the right side of the mat. From here, I'm going to walk my hands back toward my hips so that the knees are stacked and my hips are connected to the mat. Once again, the feet, the toes are accessible to the hands. Connect with the breath, settle in. Notice what you feel and where without getting overwhelmed. Again, if this pose is totally inaccessible to you, you can stay in that yogi squat. You can also take another recovery pose like legs up the wall, or any of the poses we've done already. Take as much time as you'd like here. Notice what you're feeling, where you find those sensations. Put the mind's eye there. And when you're ready to come out of this pose, we'll do so very gently. Feel free to use the hands to unravel the legs. Coming forward onto all fours to set up to do the same thing on the second side. So this time I'm going to bring my left knee somewhere near the midline of the mat. And I'm going to extend fully through my right knee, coming onto my right toes. I'm going to bring that left foot over to the right side of the mat. And I'm going to bend into my right knee and bring it all the way up and behind my left knee. Getting comfortable. From there, I'll slide that right foot over to the left side of the mat. And then I'm just going to walk the hands toward the body, bring the hips down to the mat, adjusting as needed, using the hands if needed. Remember, one side might be very different from the other, and that's okay. Checking in with the spinal alignment, checking in with the breath. Maybe finding that connection of hands to feet or hands to ankles, whatever feels right. Quieting the mind, noticing the sensations of the body without judgment. Checking in with that inner dialogue. Letting go of whatever you don't need here. Remind your body it's okay to relax. This is your practice, you're in control. Take as much time as you'd like on this side. And when you're ready to come out, we'll do the same thing here, maybe using the hands unravel through the legs. Okay, take your time recentering yourself on the mat. Then we'll come back down to the mat, coming onto the back. Get there however you get there. Take as much time as you need. I'm going to bring my knees, I'm going to bend into both knees here and bring my knees into my chest. Wrapping my arms around them. Just noticing that gentle compression at the front of the hip. And maybe rocking gently from left to right. Good, let's come back through center. And from here, I'm going to keep that right knee tucked where it is. And I'm going to extend through that left knee, extending that left heel all the way down toward the mat. From here, I'll bring my hands to the outside edge of this right knee and just guide it across the body so that I can stack the right hip on top of the left hip. Extending my right arm away from the body so my arm's kind of perpendicular to the body. Fully extended at the elbow. That right knee can just relax around 90 degrees. Maybe work toward pressing that right shoulder to the mat. Breathing deep into any tightness or sensations you feel here. Take as much time as you want on this side. And when you're ready to switch to the second side, just gently roll back through center, shift the hips, extend through that right knee. We'll bend into the left knee, bring it all the way up to the chest. Hands come to the outside of that left knee and just guide it across the body. Stacking that left hip on top of the right. Extending through that left elbow, bringing the back of the left shoulder to the mat. Breathing deep. Letting go of anything you don't need. Stay here as long as you'd like. Working towards stillness, connecting deeply with the breath. From here, we'll move into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So take your time getting there, and if you want to take any other poses or any other easy organic movement before you get into Shavasana, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, we are finishing where we started. Corpse pose, full extension at the knees, letting the palms fall open toward the ceiling. Maybe gently closing your eyes if it feels good. Settling into the mat, feeling supported by the earth, absorbing the nutrients of today's practice. You might remember your mantra if you had one here. Maybe remember rest is the equal to recovery is equal to growth. Take a few more quiet moments of stillness just to enjoy this bubble of self-care that you've created for yourself. And then I'll interrupt that with some closing remarks. Take a few more cycles of breath just to turn inward. Before I close today's practice, I want to take a minute to recognize that I am leading the practice from former Monongahela and Osage territories in what is now western Pennsylvania. I encourage you to find out whose indigenous lands you are practicing from and how you can support their ongoing struggles for liberation. I'm going to bring my palms together to rest at the space between the eyebrows. Please feel free to join me only if it feels right. Otherwise, just stay where you are. We also want to recognize that yoga is an ancient spiritual practice that comes from India and Indian culture. And we recognize and honor that cultural heritage without appropriation. We recognize that yoga functions in many ways for many people of the world today, including as a community. Thank you so much for being part of my community today. I hope you got the recovery that you needed here today, and I hope to see you again soon.